SGC here, we're back for First Impression. The Affair, Season 1, Episode 1. So, basically I got into this show because I found out that Ruth Wilson was on the Malibu cover. I checked that magazine out, and I read that she was in this show, and Joshua Jackson's also in it, and I was like, oh, gotta check it out. And it's on Showtime. I mean, the thing I've seen on Showtime was Dexter season, the second last season. I mean, the first episode of the last season, which reminds me I should finish, but I haven't got around. And also, it's Ruth Wilson from Luther. Loved her in that. Which also reminds me, I have to finish that as well. Anyways, The Affair is created by Sarah Treem and Hagai Levi. Sarah was a writer and co-executive producer on House of Cards, and she also wrote all 3 seasons of In Treatment on HBO. Hagai Levi also produced In Treatment, and I guess they're now coming together. And yeah, so this is what we got, The Affair. So it stars Dominic West, Ruth Wilson, Maura Tierney, Joshua Jackson, and everyone else, check down below. It's about an affair. About Dominic West, who's a married man with 4 kids, and Ruth Wilson, who is a married woman who recently lost her child. And they hook up. Or they don't even hook up in the first episode. But definitely the narrative I really enjoyed, because it's a flashback in the sense where the current timeline is a interview of how they met. And they tell their stories, and the first half of the episode is from Noah, Dominic West's character's perspective of how he met Allison, Ruth Wilson's character, and how he went to that place that for the summer. And then at first I was like, oh, interesting sort of dynamic. It's just like real life sort of boggling him down. 4 kids, just can't be intimate with his wife type of thing, and he's trying to understand his kids, and it's just so stressful and just high tension and all that. And then somehow he meets up with Allison, and then it's chill, and it's like, whoa, this woman's so seductive, what's going on? And it's like, whoa. And then it switches on his head, and it goes to Allison's perspective of the episode. The narrative goes before their meeting. And even how they met, and how similar things when they meet up do, is different. Like, she's wearing a sort of really short dress in Noah's interpretation, and her story is he's wearing jean shorts. And it's interesting how there's differences, and I really dug that narrative, as in, like, who is telling the truth? Is it like a seductive Allison, or a sort of really awkward Noah who's just random advances are just like, whoa dude, calm down. So definitely interesting. And Joshua Jackson, haven't seen him since Fringe, and another reminder, I should finish Fringe. But anyway, it was different from his character from Fringe, so that was sort of a interesting perspective. And also the whole narrative and story arc with him and Allison about how he's so much more moving on type of feeling compared to Allison, who's still mourning the loss of her child. So definitely, as a first episode, it's filmed, it was beyond my expectation. Definitely, I would compare it to the most affairish thing that I've seen is Satisfaction. That definitely does not hold light to this show. And I mean, I heard that Ruth Wilson won awards, and it's just great. And there's season 3, so that's 3 seasons worth of affairing to look forward to. Showtime, it's Showtime. The nudity is done much more tastefully comparative to Cinemax, because if you watch Cinemax, Banshee and all that, it's just like, bear my everything. So that, not everything, but a lot of sex scenes, a lot of too much. But here is just more like understanding these characters, where they're coming from, their tensions and all that stuff, and it just jives well. And I definitely can't wait to see just like how are they going to pull it off, and like how are they going to sort of explain it to their sort of significant other type of thing, and how do they justify it, and what is with this narrative of being a flashback? Because at the end of the episode, she's like, I need to pick up my kid, but her kid died, so whose kid is she talking about? So that's pretty great for a first episode, because it keeps you on your feet, and it's guessing just what's going on. So anyway, that is it for this first impression. If you have seen The Affair, leave your comments down below. Don't spoil anything. Actually, I don't really care. 3 seasons, I read some stuff, and I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen. But just how is it going to happen? That's the more important part. So anyway, that is it for this first impression of The Affair, Season 1, Episode 1. Out!